What's going on, everybody? This is my little tutorial video for Paradiddle primer. It works on a couple of different rudiments for our paradiddles, or different diddle rudiments. The main one that it starts with in the first measure is our paradiddles. Then in the second measure, it works on our Paradiddle Diddles. And then if you go all the way down to the third line, it starts working on our Pudahs. Though that is not a diddle rudiment, you hear us say it all the time that when you have something accented and then two notes or a diddle on the opposite hand, we call that a Pudah. Pudah, 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 Pudah. So it works on those three. Okay, I'll just piece my way through it with you all, just to help you. One thing that you guys can do that can help you with all these, not just playing this exercise, is just playing. We did it last time with the Paradiddle Diddle tuner, but you can do this as well, where we play one and a, one and a, one and a, and one and a. Other hand. And we're always trying to play things together and then hands separate. But that little rhythm right there, without any flames as I'm doing, is what the inner lining rhythm that you're playing throughout this, which is fixing. And then you have the first measure. So you can do that one and a E, one and a E, one and a E, and then always play it together with both hands. Because a lot of times the students, they can play it off the right hand, or then you tell them to do it off the left hand and they start failing. It's not because they don't have the brain power or something to make the left hand play it. It's just because they haven't gotten their left hand up to the speed of the right hand. And I say left hand because usually students, the majority of people are right-handed. Okay, so it's nothing against you left-handed people. The way to make sure that they're both evenly, again, is to play the rhythm separately. Switch. Together. And then make them all double stop. If you can make them double stop, which is what I mean is it doesn't sound like this. Once that happens, that lets you know that the hands aren't the same speed, they're not moving the same, they're not the same height, and you want to make them match. That way they double stop, hit the exact same time together. That means they're equal. That means when you play paradiddles, you have a better shot at making them play together. So that's what I would do in the first measure. So if we were in class, I would say, ready? Play the rhythm off your right, play it off your left, then we're going to play it together. And let's do it one time. Ready? 1, 2, ready, and. Switch. Together. Stop. And that would be the first measure. And then when you put it together, you should have a much smoother paradiddle. And that's how you play the very first measure. It's just a measure of paradiddles. Okay, the second measure. This is similar to our Paradiddle Diddle primer, tuner that we've already done, except for with this one, remember I said this, the other one was triplet bass, this one is 16th bass, it's still the same exact thing. So it's written as this, and then the beat 4 flips you to your left hand. But you want to figure out what is the right hand doing so I can make that better. And the right hand in the second measure is how it goes. 1 and a, 1 and a, and 4 8, and 1. So let's do that together. Listen. 1 and a, 1 and a, 2 together, and 2 already, and double, 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 2 already, and last time. Cool. And then the next two measures are the same thing. It's just off the left hand. But remember, if you're struggling off the left hand, it's because the left hand doesn't have the mechanics or speed to catch up to the right. So what do? We take that rhythm in our right hand, play it in our left hand, then play them together to see if they're equal. Ready? So this is together. That bop to doom, bop to doom, bop to bop. 2 right hand 4 times. Switch. We have to do it one time off our right. Because it switches hands, you have to stop. So we'll do it one time off our right, one time off our left, and then try to play it together. 1, 2, ready, and. You'll notice that that ba 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 is really, really hard. That's a different stroke type or invert that we're not going to talk about. But that would be the only thing that I'm concerned about us doing. Not the switch is what makes it sound weird with that accent, but just being able to take both hands. That's what I would be worried about. Doing 4 times of 1 and a, or 1 and a, and 3, 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 together and a, and 3, 1 and a, and 3, stop. 2, ready, and 1 and a, and 3, 1 and a, and switchy, 1 and a, and 3, 1 and a, and switchy. Stop. That's how I would approach fixing that. That's the inner workings of the next 2 measures, okay? So, if we're doing them slowly, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle 1, but again, it's that, what we were just playing, and people always get confused that, like, they can play this fine. Play it so fast. Then to do it one-handed, and then say, alternating, then they all of a sudden fail. Just be aware that the sticking is right, left, right, right, left, left, or paradiddle, diddle, 2 times, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle 1, and that switches you. Paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle 1, and that gets you off that hand. Gets you to your left hand, and the left hand is the first 2 measures. Measures 3 and 4 are the first 2 measures, but the opposite sticking or off the left hand. So you go 1, 2, measure 3, and paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, stop, and that takes you to measure 5. Measure 5, you guys should already be able to play, because if you can play measure 2, then you can play measure 5. The only trick is, when you're playing this, the tendency with the metronome is to play beats 4, the triplet, and the next 3 beats really, really fast, and you want to maintain control. So if you're going along, is how that changed. 1 and 4, left 2, left 3, left 4, left stop. So you just have to be able to control. Now, what we don't want to happen is this: is for you to like sit here, play the paradiddles really fast in the 16ths, and like dropping in and falling, and then all of a sudden play the triplets and be like, and all of a sudden be playing really, really strong and stroking it out. You want it to be the same pressure in the fingers, arms, wrist, everything should be the same. We should just hear the rhythm slower. We shouldn't hear the sticks sound and look different. So if you're playing it slowly, you have 2 16ths, 2 triplets, you want them to sound the same. You don't want this to happen. It's usually what we see with young students. Just make it sound the same and look the same. Use your mirror, use the model, use me to make sure your right hand is still moving consistently the entire time. And then the next 2 measures, there's a paradiddle at the very end on beat 4, just like it was if you look above it. This is the end of the second line. And then you do the same exact thing off your left hand. Paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, stop. And the paradiddle is always on beat 4 to flip you. So let's do measures 5, 6, 7, and 8 together. That's the 2 right hand paradiddle, diddle 16ths, then into the triplet versions, but we're going to do it both hands, right hand and left hand. Ready? 1 and a 2 and a ready and a go. And paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, diddle. Cool. And then I made one little thing extra on that one. Again, here's 5, 6, 7, and 8. 2, ready, and paradiddle, 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 paradiddle. Stop. Cool. That takes you now to the Pudah measure. This 1, and E, 4, and a 1. You have to remember that beat 4s always are going to switch you to the left hand every other measure, and that's always a paradiddle every single time. So you have Pudah, 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 paradiddle 1. The right hand is 1, and E, 4, and a switch, and then all you do is put 2 lefts under all that space. 1, and E, paradiddle, stop. Left hand is doing this, almost like our double beat. Right hand's nice and up and relaxed. 1, and E, Put it together. 1, and E, 4 E, and a 1. 1, and E, 4 E, and a 1. Do it real slow together. 2, and ready, and go. Pudah, 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 4 E, and a stop. Then you do the same thing off your left hand. Let it, 2, and 4 E, and a stop. Do it together. Second measure. This is the start of the fourth line off your left hand. Ready, and a go, E, and a 1. And E, paradiddle, stop. And again, your right hand is down playing the double, left hand's up here. You're not dropping it in, you're playing it. The next measure, this is the middle measure of the fourth line. You play pudah, double in your right hand. Pudah, double, switch, and then you play the same thing off your left hand. Left, right, left, right, double, stop. So he uses a double to flip you. Right, left, stop. And now, you're on the last 4 measures, which are really just a tag. You can already play this because you've already played every single thing that's in here. Paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, diddle, 4 and triple it. That's the first time he singles something out. So you have triple it, then you have paradiddles, paradiddle. Then you have 2 paradiddle diddles, paradiddle, diddle, shot and then single, double, stop. Make sure the last 2 beats are nice, big, and full, and that takes you through the whole thing. Check out the videos after this that will give you tempos and see if you can go from the beginning level to the advanced level. Peace.